With the advent of SYSBM, travel bros, passport bros, or just guys who just had it with just the game itself, well, I'm here to make a controversial statement, a proclamation that the era of game is dead. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. The era of game is dead because let's just be honest. Not all men need game. I'm just gonna say it like that. Now, we're talking about men who have different money. Look, men who come from means of wealth, they didn't need game. They don't need game. And I'm not talking about game as in like awareness of when a woman is just using you for your money versus when she likes you. That's common sense. That's not game. That's just awareness, guys. But the era of game, as in like you gotta woo your way through getting women to do what you want, blah 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 blah. That's dead. That's dead because for several reasons. One, notice how when people deal with other people of other cultures, of other races, of other countries, that the rules are different. Now in the States, whereas you have the typical individual who laments about how the only way he's able to meet women is through a club. You don't have to do that overseas. You don't have to do that, or better yet, even in the States, you can be a certain ethnic group of individuals who has a tight-knit community, particularly mostly immigrants or foreigners. Well, I'll just use immigrants or non-Caucasian, non-African American, those individuals. Notice how these individuals have their own groups of individuals and groups of communities where they have their own social events. Social events that don't involve loud music, obnoxious DJs, and stuck-up women or stuck-up dudes, for that matter, who are just waiting to give you the stink eye if you're doing one better than them in the club, right? They don't deal with that. They don't have the club, and they definitely don't have to have game in order to get their women. They just need to be productive. They just need to put their head down. They just need to do their jobs. They just need to show that they are a contributing or even just a future contributing member of their said community, their respective community. So there's that right there. Obviously, you got guys who go overseas and realize that dealing with women is a lot easier, to the point where they don't have to do all this showboating and jester maxing and thug maxing and stunt maxing, all this other kind of silliness in order to impress women. They can just chill. They can just be social, or, oh my goodness, they can be themselves. Where have you heard and all this red pill, black pill, freaking black hole pill, Black Friday pill, BBC, well, not that kind of pill, but all these other pills that'll tell you that the last thing you better do is be yourself. You don't want to be yourself because that works so well. That's why you're here with the rest of us and dwelling and lamenting on how we feel it. Like, you don't have to. You can be yourself overseas. And a lot of guys don't have that game that the PUA coaches tell you that you need in order to survive, in order to get with freaking 3 chicks in a 4-way 5 times a week in 6 minutes, exactly. If you believe that, buy their course. But for the rest of us out there who know that game is a delusion, that game is at best a parody of what it once was, what we once believed it to be, game's dead. The era of game is dead. And even back to the States, I know I'm hopping back and forth between overseas and States. Bear with me, folks. I mean, I'm getting all these subs for a reason, so I'm assuming the way I'm doing it right now is a bit better than saying 13 minutes worth of yada, 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 buying time just so I can just make a 10-minute mark. But, game, right? As far as that's concerned, note how certain men in the States don't need game. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Do we got to play the... Oh, oh, oh. I'm not touching myself, by the way. Oh, we're playing the race card. Yep, race card. And the race card today says, while little Jermaine has to have game, little Johnny doesn't. Little Johnny can be himself. Be his spunky, gingery self with the curly hair and no soul. And he can still get the women while Jermaine has to play the game. You gotta play the game. You gotta have game. Not just any game. You gotta have hood swag game, man. You can't even have the rocker game. You can't have the punk rock game. You can't have the surfer game. You definitely can't have the nerd game. Oh, that's for Johnny and his friends. Johnny and his friends can have the nerd game and at the very least get the attraction of the Eastern European and Asian and Latin chicks. Oh, or the African chicks or the black chicks who know how to act right and have femininity in them. And have both parents in their lives. Oh, but Jermaine, you need game to get with Lil Keisha. You need game to get with Shark Keisha. Oh, especially Shark Keisha. Shark Keisha. Don't let Shark Keisha be hungry. Yeah. Well, we're going to say Shark Keisha's never hungry. We don't talk about that. But yeah. Notice how other men don't need game. We won't talk about that. And notice how game is always reserved basically for, or better yet, little Jermaine, he needs game. Jarquavius, little man, little twin, the young Jason, little Illuminati who got suspended for the 5th time in 4 days, is heading on straight in the school to prison pipeline. He doesn't need as much game. He doesn't need as much game because he's cool how he is. Because he has the ninja juice. He has the swag. Oh man. Game's dead, folks. Any people tell you that you need game, look, I get it. Shout out to Modern Life Dating. Shout out to my mans and them. Money, muscles, game, frame. Game in the sense of knowing how to not be a bore, how to be social. I'll give them that. I'll agree. But game in regards to pickup sticks and pickup tactics and all this other kind of goofy mess, you don't need that anymore. You don't. And a lot of these people, with this inconsistency on who needs to have game and who doesn't, is showing and it's proven to us once and for all that game is obsolete. If it ever was needed in the first place, if game was a factor then, it's not now. Because if you're a certain guy, if you look a certain way, if you speak a certain way, if you act a certain way, you fit into a certain box, you don't need game. You just come as how you are. So for all the rest of the guys out there who may not be the lucky chosen few, go to a place where you don't need to have game, where you're chosen as how you are. Where it's brothers out there going to South America, Europe, Asia, Southeast Asia, or the white guys out there who go Eastern Europe, East Asia. Go as how you are. And I'm not saying go be a fat tub of lard and just be like, oh man, wash me my neck beard. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Unless you want to deal with pros or just the bottom of the barrel woman on their side, then be my guest. But everyone else out there, always bet on X.